I took her up somewhere nice in Kenya and proposed.
It's very romantic. There's a true romantic in that.
There is.
The palace fell silent. Morning sunlight over Windsor filtered through a pale mist, brushing the ancient stones like a tentative hand. It should have been an ordinary day, calm, routine, orderly. Yet something felt wrong. The stillness inside carried weight, the kind that seems to hold its breath. Corridors that once echoed softly with staff footsteps and murmurs now felt suspended in time. Even the grandfather clock seemed hesitant to break the silence. Royal aides moved with quiet urgency, eyes flicking toward closed doors, avoiding questions they couldn't answer. 4 days, speculation had rippled through the world. News outlets, royal correspondents, and devoted citizens waited for updates on the Princess of Wales. Official statements spoke of recovery and family care, but inside the palace, the truth was far more fragile. Doctors moved with solemn precision. The medical wing, normally unseen, had become the kingdom's heart of worry. Prince William hardly left her side, pacing hospital corridors, phone in hand, hoping for a miracle. His voice had grown rare, his sleep shallow. His life had narrowed to one purpose, to be near her, to hope, to pray. That morning began like any other, until a nurse appeared at the end of the hallway. Professional, composed, yet her eyes betrayed the tremor beneath. "She's asking for you, Your Royal Highness." Time itself seemed to pause. The world beyond ceased to exist. William walked into the room where Catherine lay, pale yet radiant, grace illuminating her even in frailty. She smiled faintly at him, a quiet peace in her gaze. He took her hand, cool yet firm, carrying a strength that words could never capture. Their silence spoke volumes. At last, she whispered, "My love, promise me you will keep smiling for them." "For whom?" he asked gently. "For them, and for the people," she replied, voice trembling yet steady. "They need to see hope in your eyes, even when I am gone." The word gone lingered, fragile and final. William's chest tightened, the weight of inevitability crushing him. "Don't speak like that," he whispered, pressing her hand to his lips. She smiled knowingly. "You've always been my strength," she said softly. "And I have always been your peace." She urged him to tell their children stories, to keep them laughing, to protect their joy. William could barely speak, his throat locked by emotion. "Some goodbyes," she said, "begin long before they are spoken. But this is not the end. When George smiles, when Charlotte sings, when Louis laughs at your silly jokes, I am there." Her words broke him. The nurse slipped away, leaving them in sacred privacy. Morning light streamed through the window, bathing Catherine in gold. William bowed his head, tears streaming, grief raw yet quiet. Love had become all that mattered, surpassing titles, crowns, kingdoms. The palace remained hushed. The corridors carried a heavier silence than ever before. Outside, the world was unaware that the future king had just lost his greatest love. William pressed his forehead to her hand, whispering words meant only for her. Eventually, he stood, shoulders heavy, heart fractured, yet still beating, carrying the purpose she left him. Days passed. The palace moved through rehearsed precision, but the heartbeat of loss lingered. King Charles and Queen Consort Camilla provided quiet support, while William focused on his children. He read bedtime stories, visited Catherine's charities, and embraced her legacy of kindness. In the gardens, a small statue honored her. Seated, smiling, hands open, with their children around her, a testament that where kindness reigns, love never dies. The memorial service at St. George's Chapel was solemn yet intimate. Dignitaries, citizens, and family gathered, bound by love and remembrance rather than ceremony alone. William spoke not as a prince, but as a husband and father. "She was my compass. She showed me that strength and gentleness are partners. She taught me to serve not by position, but by compassion." Catherine believed that kindness could rebuild the world one act at a time. I see it now in our children, in the people she touched, in countless lives changed by her quiet devotion. She told me before she left us that when I see our children smile, I will see her, and I do every day. I ask you not to mourn her absence, but to live her kindness, share her gentleness, let her light guide you. In the days that followed, William continued quietly, reading to the children, walking the gardens, visiting charities, whispering, "Heaven has its own way of staying near." Catherine's legacy endured through love, compassion, and everyday acts of kindness. The monarchy, and William himself, found its heart again, shaped by a love that transcends crowns and corridors of power. History would remember Catherine as the Princess of Wales, the wife of a future king, but to William she remained something far greater: his home, his anchor, his reason. Her greatest legacy was not charity or ceremony. It was love, quiet, steadfast, humble. Love that reminded the world that even behind crowns and corridors of power, a human heart can break, can heal, and can endure. Catherine's story reminds us that grace lies not in grandeur, but in compassion.